had my breakfast, and so I've now done my hair, my makeup, and I am ready to go to the festival. I decided to go for a red lip today in the hopes that it might attract people over to come and chat to me about my book. Okay, so let's move on to day 2 of the book festival. So day 1 was at Hertford Castle, day 2 was at Southern Maltings, and it was my first time ever going to the Southern Maltings site, but apparently they do a lot of events there, so it's very popular. It was a really nice building. Parking was great as well. There was like right outside the front. It was pay and display, but it wasn't very expensive, so did that, parked up, took my stuff in, got my stall all set up, and this time we sold our book bundles like loads. So I think that what happened was, because this was the day with the fantasy panel, I think the fantasy authors like tended to come out. Also directly opposite us was 2 of the authors that we'd met at the Leaf Cafe. Well, I think one was the author and the other one was their friend, but they were both the most loveliest people. We like walked along chatting to them, and she was telling me all about her story and like how they do like jumping, like it sounded like it's got some portals and magical portals and things like to this magical world in her book, bit like reminded me a bit about Harry Potter jumps through the wall at the train station sort of thing. And yeah, it sounded really interesting. And we also talked a little bit about like how it can be challenging to put romance into YA, because sometimes you don't want it to be too much, but at the same time you don't want it to be not enough. But her book hasn't got a very strong romance in, if I remember rightly, whereas mine has got an actual romance plot all the way. Like it's like a major part of the story is the romance in my series. I mean, it is a romantasy, so you would expect that. But yeah, it was fun like chatting to her about her magic systems and her world building and everything. And we were getting excited for day 2 of the festival. So when we got there and found out they had the stall opposite us, that was great. She was sharing her stall with Matt Adcock, and Matt Adcock did the fantasy panel last year, and he interviewed us all. I almost had a very embarrassing moment last year. He asked a question, but when he asked it, he kind of like said it like looking in the other direction, and I didn't catch what he said. And as a result, I had to listen to what everybody else's answer was as the microphone was being passed around and try and guess what the question might have been so I could answer it. Rachel was with another author, but they were like behind Roxy and April. So with Roxy on the end with a banner, April, me, and then Jodie, and then opposite Roxy and April were these 2 authors. Well, not 2, I don't think it was 2 authors, I think it's one author and their friend. Really, really supportive, amazing friend, and he was absolutely lovely as well. And they were like there just opposite us, so we could like wave to them, hi. So that was nice being with them. Yeah, I didn't get out of my stall as much at Southern Maltings to have a walk around, so I haven't got much video of Southern Maltings. It was a little bit trickier to get out from behind my table, so I tend to just stay put. However, every time I did go off, I got back and the girls would tell me I just missed somebody who was looking to buy my book. So maybe I shouldn't have gone for a wander, but there's a point where I just needed to go get a cup of tea, so I had to go get a cup of tea. So sorry, me and tea. Tea destroyed my sales. But yeah, anyway, it was really, really good. We did the book bundle again, and this time it was much better. Like we were literally like trying to call each other back wherever they were, because the book bundle had sold again. So that was a lot of fun as well, getting all excited about that. And I think it's because fantasy readers came out for the fantasy panel. They would then be asking us about our books and then be like, oh, I don't know, I want them all. And we'd be like, wow, your wishes are a command, here's the book bundle. And it was just like, then they didn't have to decide, they could just buy all 4. And it was a bargain, because most of our books was about £10 on its own. I think April's was £12.99. I can't remember all everyone's exact prices. So that all the books, like buying the bundle for 25 quid was a really good bundle price for all 4 books. And also my book being sold at £10 was a discount for the book festival, because usually it sells at £12.99 if you were to buy it from somewhere like Amazon or from a bookshop, because that is the retail price. But because I'm not having to give a cut of the money to the bookshops, I was able to sell it at a slightly less price because people come to see me in person, and that's how that bit works. So I don't know if people realise that like authors do things like this to try and help them out, but I just thought I'd mention it because they are bargains, and you're getting a signed copy, which is like really special. So the people who did come along and did take advantage of that, yes, go you. So some people I got to speak to, but not everybody. For example, there was this guy and he had a book called Home, and I didn't even realise it was like my type of book. So I just sort of like saw it, thought, yeah, it looks nice, and kept moving and didn't think anything more of it, because it was like he was in a corner on day one and I couldn't really get to where he was. So I just saw it and thought, yeah. But if I thought it was a book I would want, I would have like maybe hung around and tried to get in there, sort of thing. But one of my author friends did buy the book. I think it was Jodie that bought it. And when I saw inside this book, oh my God, it was absolutely stunning. So it is a fictional tale, and it's all about like finding your place. It's got a little bit about environments in it. But it's got so much stuff about well-being in there as well. And I thought with my son starting school, that would have been a beautiful book for him to have to start with. Like to help deal with things like the big emotions like anxiety and stuff like that, and new experiences. And the book like deals with a lot of those things in like a fictional way, which sometimes I feel is less the less direct way sometimes like helps people feel like they're not being bombarded with information, because you kind of like, I think that's why people love fairy tales so much, because there's like a hidden message in there, but you're not like being directly like told like but inside like there was coloured pages inside and different text. And if you have children that are reading, they can get overwhelmed by too much text on the page and all this stuff, and like having this like it like all with the colours and the different fonts, it kind of like breaks it up. I don't know if that's something that certain children prefer or if it's all children, but I know that my son likes that. He's more drawn to the books that maybe has like a little cartoon drawing like halfway through the chapter or something, because it kind of breaks it up and then he gets that more rewarding experience as he's reading it. I wish I'd known that the book was like that, because then I would have got it. And I did try to buy it on book 2. And as I went to go and speak to the author about it and say, oh my God, I saw my friend bought your book yesterday and it was absolutely beautiful. I wish I had bought it. It's really stunning and everything. It attracted somebody else who was walking past who heard me saying about how beautiful this book is and what a brilliant idea it was. And then they were like, oh, what's this book? And then they come and had a look at it. And then I thought, I don't want to get in the way because he's in the middle of a sale with this person. So I hung around for a little bit, but I didn't want to be intrusive or put the person off. So I wandered off and I planned to go back there later, but I never got the chance. At the end of the day, we went to do the panel. So the panel was like up these stairs. It was like a bar area. So we were there on the stage opposite like this sort of bar area where people were sitting on the tables. It was a really nice setup. It was much bigger than when we did it last year in a little windy tent on a field. And it was really cold weather last year. This year was much better weather. But this time we're indoors and it's a much bigger room and we're sitting on a stage. So it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but Matt's really good at like just like taking control. He doesn't seem like he gets nervous at all. And the topic this year was on world building. So he was asking the questions and then he was like passing the mic around, like picking different people to answer. This year I managed to hit all the questions, which was really good. And I tried to think before he brought the mic around, because he'd usually answer the question first, which would give me a bit of time to like compose myself, think, right, this is the question, how can I answer it? And I'm always a little bit conscious that the fact my world building is that it's set in the real world, that I have to kind of like explain like how I have done world building, because I've had to make the magic system work in the current world, like things like having the Reapers as the police that make sure the secret world doesn't ever come out, and things like that. And then the snake shift of the Dragos, they also make sure they take care of the human matters, because they can possess humans and control them and stuff like that. So there is all this element of world building. Anyway, I won't go into all that because that's not what this video is supposed to be about. But I really enjoyed being on the world building panel, and I felt like, I don't usually like to blow my own trumpet, but I felt like I did well. There was a question about like something you're proud about, and I said about like actually publishing my own novel, and like I got a round of applause and a cheer from everyone. I felt so good. I was very pleased with myself. So if you're one of those people that clapped and cheered for me, thank you. So there was that, and oh, there was another bit that I felt like I did well, but I can't remember what it was now. Oh, I got a laugh, but I can't remember what I got a laugh for. It was something that I wanted them to laugh at, so the joke worked. So yeah, but that was another thing that made me pleased. I seemed like I got the right reactions from the crowds at the right time, that I felt like they understood my responses, that I must be explaining myself right, because sometimes I don't. So I was really, really pleased with myself. So yeah, I felt like book day 2 went really, really well. It felt more like we were like a team, and I got more of a chance to speak to Roxy, although again she was busy, so she was a busy girl. So yeah, that was day 2, and then afterwards I packed everything up in my car, and then I drove home, and it was a nice straightforward drive home. And then the best bit was that when I got home, I got lots of hugs and kisses from my kids and my husband, all telling me they loved me and that they'd really, really miss me. So it was really nice to be missed.